and I was helping our mentor make a program just to make some motors run so we can go and test different parts of our mechanisms. It allowed the builds and the electrical to both combine their work and actually be able to test the motors. Next week, I'm planning on trying to figure out our camera.
So last week, we started communicating with people that we have make our t-shirts to make 2 t-shirts for this year, and along with a special senior item that will be a surprise for the seniors at the end of the season. As well as we were trying to decide on a new different shirt and what we wanted it to be. I would really like to get our new yearly logo done. We do a different logo every year that's themed along with the game. And I would really like to get it done next week, because then we could send in our t-shirt designs, our pin designs, and all that stuff. And then we would be able to get those as soon as possible for competition.
So far, scouting sub-team this season has really kind of been working on just really understanding the game and kind of figuring out where we want to go as a team and what things are most important to us to look for. And the very beginning processes of how we are going to get data from, the field to people and through those people and different things into something that we can, use and manage. So it's a long process, but we're starting out here, fairly well, I'd say.
This first week build season, been working on the chassis so far. We're getting pretty good on that. Right now we're putting on the axles. I feel like I've learned a lot, how to be a good leader. The team's collaborating very well together. Everyone's coming in, putting good hours in. We've also built a couple of dummy parts of our robot. We built a mock intake system, which will help us kind of decide what our final design is going to be. And overall, I think things are looking pretty bright. Goals for next week is definitely get that chassis almost done. The chains are never fun. That'll be a good time.
So in the first week of build season, the safety team has gone through the safety binder, throw away all old contracts or meeting notes and whatever, and we started new with the season, started documenting more meetings, documenting what we need to get done. We're researching what we need to do for community outreach, and we're updating our chemical list. Goals for next week right now: make sure everyone has their safety contracts in, their safety contacts in, make sure everyone knows the basic rules of the back room, and make sure everyone knows where the injury log is and where the near miss sheets are.
So last week we didn't do a lot physically, but we did order a lot of stuff that we would need. So we figured out what we would need for a pit, and we are getting some lights ordered for our numbers that I had built a couple weeks ago. And we kind of just ironed out some things like what we would want for our mascot and just like pom-poms and spirit things. Our goals are to hopefully order some of the rest of the stuff that we haven't yet, and to hopefully hold a meeting with the spirit sub team itself so that we can go over what other teams have won the awards, like what they did to get it, what their mascots were, what they did for spirit and everything. And to work with Brady, the scouting team head, and figure out what we want to do for team awards.
We stripped the old robot's electrical system, and now we're using it as a practice board to test motors, etc. We want to get the platform onto the robot so that we could put the practice board into the practice chassis to eventually wire up the motors and have it drive.
So far we've drawn a CAD drawing for our chassis, a drawing for our intake or our climbing slash control panel mechanism, our intake mechanism, and kind of mash up together of the chassis and the intake system. This goal is a standalone drawing for our intake system and a mashup of all the systems together.
So far during build season, Public Relations has created a couple of different videos to put out to the public. And this week we're starting a new thing where we will recap what every sub-team has done so far that week, and then what their goals are for the coming week, and we'll put that out as a blog post and towards social media.
A lot of things that we've been able to oversee just kind of as a team as a whole this week has actually gone pretty well. We've got a lot of prototyping done, which has been very important. I mean, you can't get anywhere without the starting steps. And it's been really cool, actually, for me personally as team captain, to see all of the individual groups in the organization that we've kind of been able to put in this year really work out, and see all of the different teams work together and in their collective and respective groups on their different pieces. And so it'll all come together here soon. It's a work in progress.